Welcome back. Okay, let's start this off right with some rest and let's continue on. Some interesting things happened in the last episode uh, with the married couple. I wonder if they are married, trying to kill each other. And yeah, that was interesting. So, but the big thing is that I noticed that there were some buggy things going on with my save, and I think what happened was that I picked in maybe when I died doing something or whatever, or most likely, my adventures with the lock picking, trying to see what I can get away with and what I can't. I picked up a wrong save, a bad save, an old save. They're not really bad, I guess, but yeah. So I noticed that there were areas that I know I did because I uploaded it that are not showing like I cleared them out like this one. So I'm going back doing that, and I figured that'd give me some time to talk about some things that's like been going on. One of the big things that is being talked about right now, if you look at gamers stream live, owned is allegedly closing, which will mean that a lot of those people are most likely going to be going over to Twitch TV. I'm I can't really say that I'm sad to see it go because with my background in business, I have a master's degree in business management, and I purposely did not pick business administration because I didn't want to work for anybody else. And usually, if you go into business working for a corporation, they want a administration master's, not management. But anyway, um, because of my background in business, I know that businesses, go out of business. It's part of life, just like people die. It sucks, but it happens. A lot of the business decisions that they were making, from the limited interaction that I had with them, it was like, okay, really? On my Facebook, I posted and I think I might have put out on Twitter too, about business owners. This guy was talking about comparing Saints Row to Grand Theft Auto. And he was saying that Saints Row is so over the top in an immature way that, it probably caused its own demise because it could, if it had been designed better, been a real competitor towards Grand Theft Auto. Now, whether you agree or disagree with that is, on you. But the point that he brought out is a good one. And when you go into business, whether it's, and let me be very clear about this. A lot of people go into business and don't realize that they are. When you begin making money, it's not a hobby. If you want people, when you have an expectation for people to support you, whether watching your stream, watching your videos, and you get compensated for it, whether through advertising, donations, whatever, that's a business. And when you decide to make that decision to do that, any business has to decide whether they want to carve their own niche, and do their own thing, actively compete with the competition that's already out there, or struggle. Those are your options, really. Because if you can't actively compete with the people that are the companies that are already established, then you're not going to rise up. I mean, you're going to get to a point and you're going to plateau, and that plateau point might be fine. Like, you may not want to be the most popular streamer on Twitch, for example, but, being a mediocre one would pay the bills or would compensate you enough to make it seem worthwhile. Let's put it like that. Or you can carve your own thing, do your own thing, and just own it, which is where evolution comes in, where new things arise or new spin on old things arise. I mean, that's why right now we're not cooking over fires and we use stoves and microwaves, because somebody decided to do something different. Okay. Then there's where most businesses fall, and that's where they fail to thrive because they make bad decisions based on not making a determination based on one of those two things that I just mentioned. Like, if you want to actively compete, then you've got to look at your competition, see how to differentiate yourself from it, and, come up with budgets and a plan, and not necessarily like a 5-year long-term business plan, but you need to know how to go from point A to point B, just like you need to know how to go from your house to work every day. Okay? Somehow, or particularly like if you go out of town and you've never been there before, you're going to research how to get from point A to point B. It's amazing that people will do that like a second nature, but not do that with their own businesses, when they start their endeavors. So that guy brought up that very good point about Saints Row, because maybe if Saints Row, and I'm not saying they decided to do something different over the top, and perhaps if, THQ survived longer, they would have been able to carve their own niche, Never know. Keep low and quiet. Can you smell it? No. Can't say that I can. I wouldn't know orc if somebody paid me. I have this habit of wanting to recruit everyone. Isn't that horrible? Okay. Yeah, I need to stop wanting to recruit everybody and their mama. Okay, here we go. Okay. You tell me. So, yeah, that was an interesting... Okay, now getting back to Twitch, there's a lot of people on there that want to... there's a good percentage of people that do it for fun. Drinking water while I go hopping around here. And then there's others that would like to earn an income from it. And then there are others that would like to do it full time. Now, my background, I used to have a very large gaming site, and way before social media or anything like that, I had over 1 million users. And I wasn't trying to do it. I did it for fun. I started out for fun. Just, for fun. And it just grew. And one of the things that I've been holding myself back on is because I know what can happen when you start something for fun and then it turns out, being a serious thing. And I loved my gaming community. I absolutely loved it. And the only reason why I closed it, I did not sell it. I closed it down when my mother was diagnosed with cancer for the second time. I had a lot of money saved up and I just shut it down. And you'll see, like, if you were to do like a Google search, one of them is Dungeon Siege. I had a sub-site called Dungeon Siege Tyme. And what I did when I shut it down was I gave the databases to fan sites, so that they could thrive, to give them an edge. Because at that time that I was closing it down, the big sites like CNET and GameSpot were really starting to take IGN, corporate backed, were starting to take over, and it was getting very hard for that person, that dedicated person that had the fan site, to get any love from anything. So I shut it down and dealt with that. And as many of you know, she passed away recently, semi recently. And I'm just at a point where, you decide, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? What is it that you want to do now in the next phase of your life? So I've just been sort of sitting back, chilling, looking at people, and seeing what's been going on in the gaming landscape, because I miss my game. If I don't game, I get stupid. I'm not even going to front. One of the things, and I'll talk about this, later on after I'm absolutely sure, but I posted that I could feel my brain turn to mush when I was dealing, with my mom's thing, and I just could not. I wasn't playing games, and it's in my real life, nothing challenges me as much as a game will, because I guess I've beaten life. Oh, to a point where nothing challenges me.
I serve the flaming fist.
The flaming fist. I don't want him to, I don't want to fight him. But I'm not giving up. And I'm not giving 50 gold, even though I'm sitting on gold. I'm not doing that. I'm going to pick 2 because I know that works. Because I did it before. Oh, I'm not going to mess around with it. So yeah, with Twitch getting a little monopoly, this could be a good time for people that want to stream to get in. Yeah, and one of the things, I don't know. I've been thinking about streaming, and now that my cough is getting better, because I like the interaction. If you follow what I do, I used to stream, particularly when I owned the other network. We used to get on the stream and drink and have a lot of fun. You can't really do that on Twitch, what we used to do on those streams, but I do like to stream my gameplay, because particularly in a game like Eve, because there's a difference for me learning while I'm playing versus learning after the fact. I absorb it better when I'm learning while it's going on. Because learning after the fact, that means I have to go back in the game and then recreate, So there are definitely games that, and I'm not saying Eve is a smart one to stream, because it's not. Because screen sniping. That's why a lot of Twitch people will not touch it. The higher streamers won't touch it, because there's too many areas on the screen that you'd have to block off to have peace in that game. But yeah, it's an interesting time for people in gaming. But if you decide to go that route, make the decision on what you want to do. And if it's just fits and giggles, have it be fits and giggles. But because of Owned closing down, where you may not have seen a lot of competition on Twitch, you're probably going to see it now. Just saying. Not that a lot of people are going to... there's some games that you're not going to see any difference on, like Minecraft. You probably won't see any difference on that. Okay, I'm going to close this here, and I will see you in the next one.